Okay, I want to show you a little game that I used to play when I was a little boy. You know how kids play with action figures, that sort of stuff? Well, I used to play with cards, and my favorite game was called Cannibals and Missionaries. Okay, I was a weird kid, I admit it. Anyway, in this game, I used to employ the four kings as the cannibals because, I figured K stands for cannibal. Okay, I was a weird kid who couldn't spell. Anyway, I'd like to show you what went on in this game. I would have three people select a card, preferably a spot card because picture cards are too similar to the cannibals. Let's go with these three selections. Now, these three selections are the missionaries. And what I used to do was I used to feed the missionaries to the cannibals. I'll show you what I mean. Now the 8 and the 9 we'll get back to. First, the 7. I would take the cannibals, feed the card into them, and if we gave them enough time, you'll see that eventually the card has disappeared. And I mean, it really has disappeared because I'm left with only the 4 cannibals. Now the first time I did this, it came as a big surprise, but eventually I got used to it. Figured that's how the game goes. Now anyway, the second selection, the 9, I'm going to place the 9 exactly in the middle. I mean, 2 cannibals on top, 2 on the bottom. But again, if we give them enough time, you'll see that I'm left with only the 4 cannibals. Now, like I said, when I was a kid, this didn't seem strange to me. I figured that's just how the game works. Anyway, we still have the 8. Now I'm going to feed the 8 of diamonds into the cannibals. And I think I placed it in the middle again. I mean, I have 1, 2 cannibals on top, 1, 2 cannibals on the bottom. But once again, if we give them enough time, eventually I'm left with only the 4 cannibals. Now at this point I would hand out the cannibals to the spectators to check them out, make sure that these are only 4 cards, no missionaries trapped between them. But I have to be honest with you, there was a problem with the cannibals. Actually, there was a problem with this game because I kept losing cards, and since I was too young to have to own my own decks, you can imagine that this didn't make my parents very happy. So I had to see if I could find a way to save the missionaries from the cannibals. And after a lot of research, I found out that if I catch the cannibals on time, sometimes I'm able to save the missionaries from in between the cannibals.